All right. I think we are going live. I'm here with MrPopZit. Let some people show up. Like he's got a little pop sign. My manager made this for me. Very cool. I should stick them on my shoulders. What I should do. That would be hilarious to do the whole live like that. But we're gonna let some people show up here. Let some people show up. Got all kinds of stuff happening. All right. Hello, Emily. Say where you're coming in from real quick, and then I'm going to go over what we're going to talk about. We're going to have some fun. Mandy, Rhoda, Mark, Trump, Renee, that Greek geek, Pamela Smith, Lydia. Hello, hello. Oh man, 500 like that. That is crazy. Okay, I know when everybody gets on here, they're like, what's he going to talk about? So I'm going to tell you real quick right now, right in the beginning, what we're going to talk about. One, I've got some amazing, exciting news, and that's going to be coming in just a second. Two, I'm going to do, I have a story about a family friend and melanoma. And it's a personal story, and it's a good one, and it's important if you with your skincare, and it's words to live by, literally. So that's coming. Three, I'm going to be doing a 45 to 60 minutes acne video, and it's coming. It's just going to take forever to edit, and what I'm doing is the best of kind of my 5 years doing this, along with some hidden footage that is unreleased on some acne extractions I've done just recently. And it'll be in there, and it'll be a contest to see who can tell which is something you haven't seen. I'll know the people that have seen all my videos a lot. They'll know what they haven't seen and what they have. And if you can pick out the timestamp, that'll be cool to see. You will definitely be the connoisseur. For questions, I'm going to be answering questions here at the end as well. So I just wanted to go over that. So first things first, the exciting news. You guys asked and I listened. So I wanted to go on and kind of talk about, for 5 years I've been doing this, and I have not... I've only promoted one thing, and that was an Isden sunblock. And the reason I did that was because I thought it was an exceptional product. But from when I did that, I heard, you guys said, hey, this is too expensive, or I can't afford it. Some of you that could really enjoyed it. But I think it brought up an important point. And it's a point that I uniquely understand. And I was talking about this with the patient this week, and I was talking about, they were asking about products. So people come to us for their skin to say, hey, is this mole okay? Is this a skin cancer? But, they also, one of the most common questions I get is, what should I be using on my face? There are so many things out there, and it's a bunch of white noise. It's too much to kind of take in sometimes. And we are the translators. I translate medical conditions to tell you what's going on. But I think it's an important role that we have in translating what you can do for your skin as well. And I have, I get so many free things. And since I've opened my practice, it has just exponentially increased. I mean, people are trying to come in the morning to bring breakfast and lunch around when I see my patients. I don't have a spare second sometimes, trying to sell me on something, constantly giving me free stuff to try, which is great. I mean, I know that's what they have to do, but I've got dozens upon dozens of things in my bathroom, and I try, I would say 95% of them, because I want to be able to talk about it to patients. And these are things that I'm not going to come on here and kind of tell you about something I don't personally use, for one, and that I don't think is an amazing product. And in 5 years, me only doing that with one should say something. One is, of course, you can go out and spend $220 or $180 on something that's going to have this amazing feel to it. There's some great products that are out there, but where I think we win is when you can find it at a greatly discounted price and it's that same level product. And that doesn't happen often. It's actually very rare. And so I'm going to be talking about that. I met an incredible dermatologist. Let me just say that. And he's created a skincare line. And I don't know if you've ever, met somebody for the first time that maybe is in your industry or does what you do. And you start talking and it's like you're almost finishing each other's sentences and you're like-minded. And I think it's truly rare where you match up with somebody like almost like 100% on what your ideals are and what you're looking for. And it was like a breath of fresh air. We went to dinner and it was like 3.5 hours in. We're like, oh man, we're taking up this table, and we were talking. And so it, he answers some of the biggest problems that I saw out there, and he saw as well. And what that is price gouging. And price gouging not only in prescriptions, but also in aesthetic cosmetic creams. And it's out there. Everybody knows. If you're in the industry, you can see what some of these things cost in unneeded products as well. Kind of honing in on what you really need. And what I have seen out there, and just from everybody coming in, there's like, this is the before the laser, this is after the laser, and then this is the week after the laser. 3 different creams for like a post treatment. I've had a couple companies, come in and tell me that. And so when you start kind of talking about that, and you start unpacking it, it's like, what is really needed? I am going to, and it's going to happen in May 3rd, in about 3 weeks, because all these things have to line up. This is going to be an online store, and it's an online store that you can purchase 24 hours a day with 5 simple products that basically everybody can use. And you guys have been asking me for this for years. And honestly, when I opened this office, I hadn't found something that I could get behind. And I was looking into doing it myself. And the barrier to bring a product line like that is well into the 6 figures. It's crazy. And with opening up a new office, there wasn't going to happen. So the way that we met was cool, and when we started talking, I was like, this is exactly what I've been looking for and what I wanted to create, and you already did it. So in 3 weeks on May 3rd, I am going to have a link on the video, and I'm going to go over each product and answer questions about them. So, some of you already have a product line that you love, totally fine. A lot of you have been asking me what I can use, what should I use, and why it's important. And we are going to go in a deep dive on May 3rd, which is a Saturday, and kind of unpack it and go over those. So that's one of the most common emails I get. So I'm glad that I finally have an answer. I'm sorry I didn't have an answer before that, but these things are, they're hard to bring to the table sometimes, and at the quality and level that these ones are. So that's exciting. So melanoma story. I want to go over this melanoma story, and then I'm going to answer questions at the end too. So I wanted to show you, this is a story about continuity of care and how important continuity of care is. And what that means is seeing the same provider, somebody who gets to know you and your skin. It is so important. And in today's world with, people having busy schedules and providers kind of being all over the place and sometimes going to different offices, it is hard to sometimes get in to see the provider that you like. And so when you have that option, I recommend it highly. And I recommend if you have to travel a little bit for it, or if you have to pay a little extra for it, it can save your life. And I want to tell a story about this family friend of ours. And he has a lot of sun damage, and I've been seeing him for years, for like 10 years. And when I left the practice that I was at and I was opening up my new practice, it was there was a downtime, obviously, 6-8 months. It's been a year now since I've been at that old practice, as of 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday. or 2 days ago. And so in that time, he didn't get a skin check. He was waiting for me. I opened up and he came in, and I looked at him, and this is a mole I saw on his back right here. See, you can see that, right? A lot of freckles you can see through here. This doesn't look that bad. It's a little bit darker spot right there, but it could be a big freckle. I've removed a lot of big freckles like this, or even a beginning seborrheic keratosis. Let me get that right up in the camera so you can see. A little bit of a shine there, but I'm trying to get it around. So when I looked at that, because I'd seen him for so long, just looking at it, that's something I would have cut off the last time I saw him. So my thought process was, man, if this came up in a year, that's a lot to grow in a year. In 1 year to have that color variation of light and dark. If I saw that a year ago, I would have cut that off of him because, it doesn't look horrible, but it ticks enough of my boxes that I would have taken it. Now, if he would have just saw somebody else, it's probably a dark freckle. It's okay. It's on his back. He didn't know. He was like, nah, he almost didn't want to do the biopsy. And I was like, I have a feeling about this only because I would have taken it off a year ago if it was there. And that was the only reason. I was like, it's there now. And if I didn't take it off before, then that means it's new. And it had been a long time. I took pictures of him, but I didn't have his old mole mapping from my other practice because that's on their EMR system. So I was starting new with him. And that's important. And so I was like, let's take it off. It came back as melanoma in situ, just a beginning melanoma. And, even a few months, and that could have started tracking down into a lymph system or a vessel, advanced to malignant melanoma, and cost him his life. And so that continuity of care, having somebody that knows you, having somebody that takes time, to do your skin checks as well. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, then find somebody else. And because, it's like with breast cancer, colon cancer, and these other things that you got to go in and get scoped or mammograms, all of these things. The skin, you could just look at it. So it's fairly easy to catch if you have even somebody that's remotely competent, and you just got to get in there and get the check. The other thing this made me think was, with my practice, I'm doing free skin checks in April and May for Melanoma Awareness Month, which is May. And so that's what we're going to be doing. And even if you don't have insurance, or if you have a derm but you just can't get in, we have a little paper. I'm just going to look and circle if something's of concern. You can get it done with us, or you can go to your own dermatologist. But you can get in because we have a pretty good availability right now. And so I think that's important. I know there's a lot of other people who do it, but getting that skin check, having somebody look at your back. This family friend was a single guy. It's a common story I see. He doesn't look at his back, and you got to get in there and have somebody look at you. The other thing I wanted to show, which I thought you guys would think is kind of fun, is I got billboards up. Check this out on the freeways around my office. So this is kind of fun. I got a couple different billboards. I pulled over to take a picture. There's like 6 different ones. It's just an electronic one, so it changes the picture each time, which is fun. So let me just check here. Looks like somebody is going on and putting on a lot of things that we may have to take off. Brittany, when you do that, the moderator, we're going to have to take you off potentially. You can't go on and just do that over and over and over. It'll take you off. So let's not do that. All right. So the free skin checks. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing, get in, get checked. And even if you don't come to me, go get checked somewhere else. It's always good to do. one of the last things. So on that day on May 3rd, I'm gonna do. I've got a couple acne videos that I'm editing right now. Yeah, she's totally spamming. I know, and so she has been banned, unfortunately, but that happens. But that's nice. So now I can see your questions. Where were we at? Yes. The fourth thing. Questions, the acne video. So I went back and I was like, I want to do like a best of, and I've done a couple of them. They've been real big hits, and it's really fun to go back on all my content and see how bad I was at editing, like in the beginning, in the first like 18 months. Now, I know the filming sometimes goes blurry and, they're trying to do auto and that can be tough. But just editing overall, kind of coming in and where I'm putting it, I was just going through and I was like, man, this will be kind of nice to bring these in, get them a little closer and kind of clean them up a little bit on some of my earlier bad edits. And I wanted to cut down to just the best parts of each video so you can have like a 45-minute to 60-minute video that is just the best of and what you guys like to see. And I've got so many hours of content. It's just going to be a long edit. I'm assuming 12 to 16 hours of editing. I'm going to have to do it over a course of the next couple weeks. But that's something that's exciting that's going to come. And I've had some new extraction videos. I'm going to hide a couple in there and see if you guys can guess it. So that should be fun too. So that's all coming on May 3rd. So one of the things I wanted, a couple people had questions about the product line. These are like the top ingredients, like the things that are on the SkinCeuticals level, some of the really expensive stuff, and it is a fraction of the price. So that's what really blew me away when I sampled these. My wife and I did these products for about 6 weeks, and I couldn't believe it. I've been getting compliments on my skin actually. and I was just like, wow, this is that top level. I've used those really nice things before, but one thing, and I think it's because I'm from the Midwest, and I understand times are tough right now, and things are expensive, but people want to put their best face forward. And they don't want to break the bank doing that. And therein lies the tough call. Like, how can you do it? And I think I've found the answer, which is great. So that's what we're going to be doing on May 3rd and talking about it. I'll have some little videos also that are informative when people are asking about it. So that's what we'll be doing. If all things go as planned, I will let you know if there's any, if it's going to be a little later or not. Setting up the online store, doing all those things takes time, but we're almost there. So fun stuff. Now, questions. I know I saw a couple questions. Let's take a look. If you guys have questions. Yeah, so HS and, hidradenitis suppurativa and steatocystoma multiplex. I have got so many dozens and dozens of patients that have come in just from my videos, and I've got a ton of editing right now. And conditions that can be treated. And those are two groups of patients that really feel ostracized sometimes and alone, like they're battling it themselves. They might not know anybody that has it, and they think that, man, this is so rare. And it's out there, both of those conditions. And finding somebody who will take the time to really address your level of severity, I really recommend. I've had people travel, 2,000 miles multiple times just to do some drainage, aesthetically pleasing drainages and some injections and kind of, get them set up. And I also have patients that have come in, driven a couple hours from just around me that will make that trek, because we'll really put them on a protocol and escalate when needed to get them on, the least amount of medications that gets them stable. So that's something I just like to reiterate every time I come on one of these lives. If you're one of those patients, I have people, sending me kind of pictures sometimes of their severity and if we can help them. And, that's what we've been doing. So I want to thank you all for reaching out and educating when you have that as well. So that's going to be fun to get you guys set up and get you better. I've also had, just since I've opened in the last couple months, we're really starting to get busy just this month, which is nice. But a ton of acne patients, and I know just from talking to providers, and some of you that might even be providers in dermatology. I enjoy acne, and I know some people think it's very boring. I think I enjoy it because I love to see the transition from, especially in young kids, of just this, downed person that when you see their light shine, it feeds me, man. I just dig it. I don't know why, but it's so fun to watch. And I see the parents that are just desperate. They know that their kids may be getting ostracized or made fun of at school. It is such a condition that's so common and in so many different levels of it, but it cuts deep, for those patients and for the whole family. And when they're walking around, I see people, at the grocery store that they're checking out, and I just try to slide a card every now and then. Hey, if you're not getting any acne treatments, come see me. At the gym, I'll see it. And there's answers out there, and you can make it a lot better and fairly quickly most of the time. So I wanted to talk about that too. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Jeannie from Riverside. Very cool. I used to go to an office in Riverside last year, for years, but now I'm just in Corona, which is only 15-20 minutes away from Riverside. It's not bad. So that's good times. Let me see. Yes. Transplant patients. Very good. HS. Your name is HS. So I have a lot of transplant patients, actually, heart transplants, liver, kidney. And when you get a transplant, you're put on pretty heavy immune suppressing medications. And when you're suppressing your immune system, other things can take off. And it's kind of like blowing wind on a fire. It can ignite atypical cells. Sometimes things advance quicker. So very, very good point. Very important to get your skin checks. And I see those patients usually every 2 to 3 months. And I tell them take pictures as well on things that they have questions about. We remove moles all the time. And find skin cancers all the time. And catching these things early, prevention is so important. So that's good. What was the other thing I was going to say? No, I think we covered that. Yeah. Okay. So psoriatic arthritis. Yes. Another good. You guys have some good topics today. Psoriatic arthritis. When people get psoriasis, it's an autoimmune condition. Hyperkeratotic plaques building up on the skin. But sometimes that inflammation that they have in their body also attacks the joints or even sometimes internal organs. And so, shutting that down in a systemic way, there's so many IL-17s, IL-23s, TNF alpha, like Humira and Enbrels, which are the older ones. There are so many options out there. So don't think that there's not help for you when you have that. I've treated thousands of patients with those, and watching them get better, watching them wake up with arthritis in their hands and starting to get finger changes in their joints and their structure of their joints, and then being able to bring down that inflammation and have their movement come back and their pain reduce is awesome as well. So, go get checked. There's people out there that can help you. And, if you're going in and they're not, telling you the things you want to hear, or they're not, escalating, if you're not getting better on what they give you, then you have the freedom almost always, even in very regimented HMOs. They'll have usually multiple specialties or multiple specialists. So you might have a couple dermatologists to choose from. And if you're not enjoying it, ask for another referral, and that can be helpful. Let's see. Yeah, rosacea. Good one, Dutchy. So with rosacea, it's a nuanced presentation because rosacea itself is just redness. inflammatory rosacea, acne rosacea, is redness with bumps that looks like acne. But a lot of times it's not normal acne. They've even cultured it to look for the bacteria sometimes that causes acne, and it isn't in there, but it looks just like an acne nodule. And that's because it is chronic inflammation from UV damage a lot of times, and even fluctuations with hormones and those types of things. There's a lot of triggers. It can be alcohol, it can be heat. When I barbecue, I'll flush a little red. Sun is obviously one of the biggest. But these things happen, and I think somebody just texted. It's rule number 1, silence your phones, people. Let me just put here. Yeah, so with rosacea, a lot of times I have patients come in and I'm looking and they're just red. Intense pulse light, IPL, is, it's actually not a laser, but a lot of people call it IPL. It's just intense pulse light, but it's it looks like it's a laser. And you can use intense pulse light to heat up those small vessels. It picks up the reds and destroys those vessels, and they can't fill with blood, and it reduces your redness. There's a lot of treatments that you can do for the inflammatory ones. There is a subset of rosacea that we all have little Demodex mites, little tiny mites that are actually on our skin. They're supposed to be there, but some people are really sensitive to them. And they will get kind of this speckling red, and there's things like topical ivermectin, which I think somebody Sulantra, I think is the name brand, that we can use. And when you find that patient and they've been doing other things and it's reducing it a little bit, but sometimes not touching it, then you give them topical ivermectin, and it's literally something they've been dealing with for years is controlled in like a week. They'll be your patient for life. And I've had that happen many, many times. And knowing to try different things is important. So if they're, not answering that, that's important to do. But we're getting close to the end here. I can't believe it's like 30 minutes goes by just like that. I also have for my VIPs, I know my VIPs are on there. I've been taking some videos this week, just behind the scenes. Stuff just barbecuing. I wanted to do a day in the life as well. So it's kind of like when I wake up in the morning, what do I do? Maybe a whole day just to show you guys. I know we got a basketball game coming up. Oh, we got the kiddos just got back. Here they are. Here's the little ones coming to say hi. So here we go. I want to show you guys Rowan here. We're going to do a mix-up. You saw that was totally, I'm going to do an original mix-up here for him. And he likes to show you guys how quick that he can do this. So that's totally mixed up. We'll give him a couple seconds. See if he can go sub 16 seconds. Go. So we'll see how he does. So he went to a competition and did great. He made it almost to the finals in all 3 different ones he was doing. You got to hold it up so they can see. He's still going. Wow, that was probably 12 seconds. That was pretty good. I could never do that, but good job, buddy.
Thanks.
You guys want to say hi to everybody?
Hey guys.
Hi.
That's Daddy.
I know that's mini PopZit right there.
Can I show Mama?
Well, yeah, you can go show her. She's seen it before. All right, guys, we are getting ready. We have, I know, Jennifer, it really is amazing. He has a special knack for it, and he loves it. Yes. Baby girl's here too. So we're going to go to a basketball game here in a little bit. We got so much going on in the weekends. I think so. Yeah, for Kelly. So I just have, I don't even know how I get to editing and when I do it, but it just happens magically somehow. But yes, I want to thank you guys for showing up. We had over, I think, 500 there for a while. Here's a little dude coming back. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Put it in your calendars. I'll remind you, May 3rd, we're going to do just a product breakdown. They will ship to Hawaii, continental United States, District of Columbia, even Puerto Rico. And they're even working to get, and it's free shipping. You just have to pay tax, whatever was in your state. And they're even going to be doing some countries in Europe. I showed them my top 10 where I get hundreds of thousands of views a day in some of these countries. and they're going to try and do international shipping. You just may have to pay for the shipping, but to get the products out as well. So we got a lot of cool things coming, just options for people who want it. I know some of you don't want it. I know there's 6 people who put it down. They don't need to have it. It's totally fine. It's not for everybody. But for the ones, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did, and I hope it helps your skin as much as it's helping MrPopZit in my skin. So have a good weekend, and we will see you soon. Say bye. Thanks for popping by.
And
Thanks for popping by. And be strong. That's right. We'll see you. Bye-bye.